everyone. Kevin Clements Homebrew here, and it's early. I've got my coffee. That's right. Christian's here in spirit, and we're going to make a double IPA here, a DIPA, a good old imperial. And you know, this one's just kind of off the cuff. It's an interesting one. I'm not worried about exact numbers because I'm not going to be able to repeat it, mostly because some of the hops that are going into this. So here we go. Let's just talk about what we're making. I'm calling it, we'll see if I rename it, the Tropical Peach Double IPA. That's right. And for grains, we've got 6 pounds of pale two-row. We've got 6 pounds of Maris Otter. We've got a pound of the Caramel Munich 1 Best Malls. We've got a pound of flaked oats. We're going to get a little creamy texture lightly. We've got a pound of Vienna in there. And we've got 12 ounces of Carapils. We've got 4 ounces of Cara Red, add a little interest, and 4 ounces of Crystal 55. That's an interesting one. And then we've got, now we're going to go into our hops, all right? So we've got an ounce of Magnum going in for 60 minutes. And then at the, let's see here, at the 10-minute mark, we're putting in 2 ounces of Denali. If you haven't tried that, look that one up. And then at 5 minutes, we're putting in 2 ounces of this new one, the EXP Stone Fruit. Some of you have heard about that one, some of you have used it, but coming out of Yakima Valley hops. And at flame out, we're putting in 2 ounces of the BRUI, or yeah, I think it's BRUI or 1, I can't remember which. And then another 2 ounces of the Denali. And then we're also putting in 2 ounces of El Dorado at that point. Yeah, a lot of hops going in. We're using good old Safel US05. And then we're going to dry hop. 4 days of dry hopping with another 2 ounces of the BRUI, 2 ounces of El Dorado, and 2 ounces of the Stone Fruit, the EXP Stone Fruit. So a lot of these are experimental hops out there that bring in some unique, interesting characteristics. But one of the things they're supposed to have in common is stone fruit characteristics. Therefore I'm calling it peach, but we'll see. We're just going for it. We're going to have a fun day of brewing. Let's get going. Alright, we're going old school because this is just a little too much for the Braumeister, about 3.5 pounds too much. So here we go with the grains. And the mash paddle from Harry Brew 69, good old Chris, has definitely come out of retirement since we've been doing a lot of brews back over here again. Mash time. This is another point where I really miss having Christian here. I would much rather be brewing with him, but our schedules don't always meet as far as days off. If you haven't watched any of Chris's Harry Brew 69's videos, in a while you should really go check it out. His brewery that he's started over again has really taken off, and he has made his own equipment, his own mash tuns and etc. You know, his fermentation tanks. Very beautiful job he's done on them, both configuring, you know, welding and making everything as far as the big giant pots. They're very decorative, insulated with the wood around. So I would say go check out those videos. Alright, temp-wise we were good. We were about 151 before putting in here still. So we're probably just about that 148 now, and that's about what I want. Again, I'm not really super concerned about this in terms of being a perfect brew. It's a one-off, but this should be a good brew day, and it's going to put another 5 gallons over there on the kegerator. That's right. Alright, I got some more coffee. Oh, my poor wife. And so we're mashing in over here. I've gotten things a little more cleaned up and ready to go for the next stage. And one thing I thought I'd mention that was interesting, I have, whenever I go over the old style with mashing, not doing the whole thing through the Braumeister, I've always opened it up every 20 minutes and stirred, right? And in the thought that I would get a greater mash efficiency. And I was talking with Ryan Rashawn briefly, some months back, and he was saying that he found he wasn't getting any greater efficiency by doing that, because he did the same thing. So I'm going to drop that this time because it makes a lot of sense when I think about it. The fact is that I batch sparge. I'll put usually sometimes one, but often 2 times I'll sparge the grains, right? Batch sparge. And so really all we're looking to do is to convert over here so we get our proper conversion, so that it will turn into liquor, right? And then with the 2 batch sparges, anything else I need to do as far as getting efficiency and rinsing the grains, that's going to happen with the batch sparging. And I usually tend to, I know it's not necessary, but when I do batch sparge, I'll put the water in, and now you're adding water because the grains are already soaked up, right? So I'll put around 2 1/4 gallons is what I'll be adding in, and I'll mix that up. I'll let it sit for a few minutes, probably don't need to, and then I'll go ahead and drain it, you know, sparge, and then we'll do it again. So really we're doing a pretty good job of rinsing out those grains right there by doing that. So anyway, we'll see. I'm not too worried about all that, but that's what we're going with today. I thought I would share that one with you. Okay, we're starting to wort off here, just starting to get it going. Kind of get this grain bed settled here. Alright, we got the first runnings going. Strike water for the batch sparge is just about there. And meanwhile, I'm eating a nice healthy breakfast. This is 1 egg, 3/4 cup of egg whites, and 2 pieces of Canadian bacon. A lot of high protein, low fat. Thanks, Tony. We've added in our about 2 gallons of water. And we're going to kind of stir that all up again. Let that sit for a moment. We'll repeat again and do one more time with another 2 gallons. I am measuring the first runnings. That's cooling off right now. Not quite where we need to be temp-wise to check this measurement. We're still over 80. We want to get it down to 68. And I am cleaning with my sodium percarbonate, which I've got a whole video on that if you haven't seen, to kind of see the difference between whether you're using that or OxyClean or coming in with PBW. A lot of good research went into that, and worth taking a look at if you have questions about that. Now, because the grain bed is set, I'm not worrying too much about how clear it is, plus I have oats in it. So it's not a competition beer. There's a little bit of cloudiness. Oats will do that. That's good enough for me. I just want something I can drink this time. If this was a comp beer, I might go a little more crazy than this, but it smells good. I love smelling those grains. Good malt in the morning. you've got something that works really well though for doing fly sparge inside one of these Home Depot ones, something easy. I don't want whirly bird things. I've tried making some of those myself. But if there's something online that fits really well into one of these 10-gallon Home Depot thermos jug things, whatever you call them, let me know. It's something I can order online here in the US. I'd love to try one. I don't think you can see that. First runnings are roughly at 1.080. We'll let this cool down and we'll get our pre-boil gravity. Okay, I'm waiting for that to get up to boil. Meanwhile, the mash tun's all cleaned up. I have everything cleaned up, the burner put away as I'm waiting for that. I like getting as much done in advance as I can because I want to be able to be done easily by noon, hopefully, so I can spend the rest of the day with my beautiful wife and have a fun day with her as well. Also, I took care of pain relief, back things to a degree this morning. I stopped taking a leave years ago, which I used to take 1 to 2 every day for back issues. And I have a substitute, which if you want to message me, I'll message you back privately on Facebook or maybe here on the video we can find a way. But beyond that, I did take 2 leave today, just on top of my regular stuff, because I know what a brewing day can do to me, especially the hard way with the mash tun and a lot more lifting going on. Anyway, we're just waiting for boil, and we'll get all of that going here shortly. Okay, the pre-boil gravity was 1.059. I would like to have seen that a little bit higher. We did get about a 73% efficiency, so we'll take that. I do get so much better efficiency when I'm just doing the Braumeister alone. I usually get in the 79-81% range, which is wonderful. So it's not going to be quite as high ABV as I'd hoped, but you know what? It's going to be very drinkable, and that's what I like. So you saw me throwing the bittering hops right in, right? So I'm going to try something a little bit unique today. You know, I got this, which I love, and it's been in the sanitizer. I'm going to try something a little bit different today. I'm going to dump everything in here. Now, mind you, that's kind of a pain because I got to clean the pump out. But what I'm going to do is, when we're putting all this into the fermenting bucket, I'm going to run it through here. Since this filters so well, I should get full utilization of the hops, and then this should take care of the other end. So we're going to see how that works today. Got so much Irish moss. I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons actually. Since it's a little cloudy because of the oats particularly. Alright, timer's going off again. I always like to use neat yeast nutrient. So we're going to go ahead and get a teaspoon of that. Oh, that's the last of it. I got to get more. Alright. Next, in 5 more minutes, is the Denali. I almost forgot my 5-minute drop. That's right. We have a 5-minute edition as well. This is going to be the experimental stone fruit, and it does a lot more than just stone fruit, what it throws in there. Again, there's a 17% alpha acids on this one. That's a pretty big high amount there. Should be fun though. Another 2 ounces of this. That was 8 more ounces. So we had 1 ounce of the Magnum, 2 ounces of the Denali. Now we got 2 ounces of the experimental stone fruit. So while I'm waiting for that last timer to go off, so again we got another 2 ounces of Denali. We've got our Brew I or 1, I'll have to look that up again, and we've got our El Dorado. 2 ounces of each are going in at flame out. Alright, timer's going off. Oh, that's a nice bouquet there. 6 ounces going in, baby. Glass is all steamed up now, but I can pretty much stir. That's going to be one hop delight right there, let me tell you. Alright, I'm going to be turning this off. We're going to start cooling it down, and I'll show you how we're going to do this filtering a little bit. You can see that's pretty thick with hops in there. So it should be a nice hoppy IPA. So I'm going to whirlpool this to cool it down for a while, and when it gets down to, I can't remember, I'll look it up, but about, I can't remember, I think 85 degrees Celsius, I can start the pump up and let the Braumeister do the whirlpooling for me. And what I've done is I've kept my, my chiller in sanitizer all this time. It's been cleaned previously. So we're going to go ahead and add that in at this point. And here's a shot just to see how the pump is recirculating that for me. That's right, kind of my whirlpool by the pump as we continue to cool down. Alright, we're at 20.5 Celsius. That puts us right about where we want to be. That's, might be lower. It's 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, it is time to kill this pump. And let's go ahead and open her up. It is raining, so sorry about the camera angle. I'll show you that in a moment. Open her wide open now. There's still a little bit of haze going in, but this is going to help a great deal. Catching about as much as we can, but we'll take it. It's easier than the old method by a huge degree. You can see that's pretty clear coming through. Okay, you can see that even the hop screen is getting clogged. No, that's not me. That's the Braumeister wrapping up. Now I filtered some of the hops out with the hop bag. That's why I poured the rest that was in the top of this out with. But you can just look at all the hops that are collected up in there. That's just a whopping load. I'd say it does a really good job of filtering it out, but I think I'm always going to use it on the back end from now on to get that full utilization of the hops. And on another interesting note, talking to Lermo22, he was saying now that he no longer really filters out the hops when he's putting it into his brew bucket. He just lets it go right on in, and he ferments it with them in there. He just figures it adds to it. So that's another thought too. And he's had some really award-winning beers. So one other way to go when it comes to your hops. This is when I really miss Christian. But all right, we ended up at 1.068, which is fine. I was looking to get to 1.067, so 1 point above. We'll take that. And now I'm going to, for those that haven't seen it, I've got my fermentation chamber here that will keep it cool. It's currently running 53 degrees inside. And I'm going to get my little firm wrap here, thermal wrap. I use a set of bungees to hold it in place. I like to turn this. I've got a little temp thing here. Plus I've got a temperature probe that's going to go inside. So it's a little on the cool side right now. It's around 63 degrees. It's cooled off quite a bit. I'm going to get this plugged in over here to my Inkbird. I recently got a new Inkbird. I think the temp probe had gotten bumped around a bit, and every so often it would go off as far as the temperature reading, and I'd have to reset it. It started happening multiple times a day, so I got a new one. like to wrap my baby up in a blanket. That's right. It actually helps to have that around the thermal wrap because it holds the heat in. So it makes it more efficient since we're trying to pull this up roughly 15 degrees from what the interior temperature is. They say that these can do as much as 20 degrees, but I find that doing this is much more efficient. It works really well. That's good. And we're going to go ahead and program this over here. All right, let's see here. First we'll get it to set to Fahrenheit. Alright, that helps a little. Alright, our ideal temperature, if I remember this right, I'm going to take this down to 68. We want the high to be roughly 1 degree. And we want the low to be 1 degree. I think that's how this works. I'll reference it again. Then the high alarm, we'll go ahead and set that. Wow, why is that so high? Set that at 69, again just 1 degree. And the high alarm, we're going to set that a bit lower since it's cool right now. And put that at our 63. Hopefully we're not going off now. Alright, we're currently at 64.3. We're working our way up to 68. You can see the heating is on. We're going to go ahead and make one quick change here. Alright, the low alarm, we're going to move that up to 64, but because I just want to hear that right now. But I'll come and change that later. It's definitely going to start heating up though. We're going to bring it up to that 68 pretty quickly. And there we go. Okay, you can see we've made it up to temp. So we're going to go ahead and reset this. We're telling it to stay no more than 1 degree up and 1 degree down from the 68 degrees. And we have an alarm going off, it gets 2 degrees up. And now we're going to bring this up so that if it gets to 66, which is 2 degrees below, an alarm will go off. And we'll save. Works that easy. It's so great with the little temperature probe that drops inside the bucket, and it's just worked fabulous for me all these years. So, successful brew day. I got a little bit of cleaning up to do of the Braumeister here and putting a few things away, but we're in pretty good shape. And I will catch you next time around. Maybe we'll be trying this, we'll see. But Christian and I may actually be brewing before then. Also too, the stout that we'd made two, that Party Gal, I've had that in here conditioning all this time. So I just put that on yesterday to start carving up, and we'll give that one a whirl too. We'll talk to you next time. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everyone. We will see you next time around. Cheers.